Roger Craig still on his feet, still running. What a run by Roger Craig. You'll never see a better one than that.
John Robinson was just saying yesterday, he thinks right now Roger Craig is the best running back in the league. I can see why. You know, he has that thing of getting those knees high and keeping the shoulders low. And he makes every team look like they're bad tacklers. Watch the way he gets that high knee action, keeps those feet going like two pistons. Then, at the same time that the knees are going high and keeping going, the shoulder can get low to take on a tackler.
Excellent.
Holy on snow!
This is Snowman in the Morning.
Oh, yeah.
Good morning and welcome to the fabulous, fantastic Football Friday edition of Snowman in the Morning, first one of 2022. We thank you all for being with us. Snowman is here. Cole Johnson will follow along in a few moments. And this is the final Friday before the final Sunday of the 2021 NFL regular season, which prompts a question, and I just got this idea. Which coaches are going to be fired after this season concludes? You just have to look at teams' performances over the past couple of years. I say Mike Zimmer gets the axe. Matt Nagy is certainly going to get the axe. Should have never been hired in the first place. But then I heard something ridiculous. I had someone say that Kyle Shanahan should get the axe. In a conversation with this so-called football fan, I asked why. And his response was because he hasn't done anything with the 49ers. That was part one. Part two was he simply said Jimmy Garoppolo. I said, well, one, Jimmy Garoppolo's a winner. The record and the stats bear that out. And secondly, the only thing with Garoppolo's kryptonite has been injuries. Thirdly, if you want to blame the loss of the Super Bowl against Kansas City on Kyle Shanahan, don't do that. And I believe this weekend the 49ers will pound the Rams and pound their way into the playoffs because of a superior running game. Now, some other coaches that should be fired. It's easy to say Dan Morgan in Detroit because of the moribund state of affairs that they're in, but these players play for him. These players go to the wall for him. Now, I will throw a wild card in the equation of a coach that should be fired, probably won't be fired. How about Mike Tomlin? Just in the past two, and recency bias is a big part of why I'm throwing Mike Tomlin into the coaching carousel. Yes, it's very recent, but you start 11-0 in a pandemic season, and then you get pummeled by Cleveland in the playoffs. And then this year you tie the Detroit Lions. Now, I know it's not fair to say he deserves to be fired because of one game, but if you want to look at a game that defines the Pittsburgh Steelers this season, that one. As I've heard quite a few times, they've won incredibly ugly this year. True. Ben Roethlisberger gets a win in his final game at Heinz Field. True again. But if you don't beat Baltimore and work your way into Pittsburgh has to hope that the Colts lose on Sunday, and they're not. I'm telling you, the Indianapolis Colts are going to pound the Jacksonville Jaguars. Urban Meyer was the first coaching casualty this year. Urban Meyer should never been hired in the first place by Jacksonville. You have to wonder who their new coach is going to be, who they're going to hire, especially after all that is going on. Follow our social media at official SIT Morning. You can text the show at any time. Give us your choice on who should be fired this year. Who should bite the dust? You know an easy name to throw in that equation? Ron Rivera. It's unfortunate that his name is going to be thrown into the equation, but you don't have a star quarterback. Is that the reason? No. Is it one of many reasons? Yes, it is. I have another wild card coach that should be fired but won't be fired because of recent history. You know that coach's name? Bruce Arians. Bruce Arians is supposed to be a player's coach. I beg your pardon. But with the whole situation that went down with Antonio Brown, from signing him winning a championship, to this, I thought Bruce Arians would be one of the first to know that adrenaline is something else. I thought Bruce Arians would be on the side of Antonio Brown, and I don't want this to become an aside about AB. I'm just mentioning my reasoning of why Bruce Arians should get the axe. You're supposed to pay attention to your players. In Antonio Brown's case, he didn't. I'll leave it there. Who do you think should be fired? Who gets the axe on Black Monday, January 10th? Who's going to become the new coach of the Las Vegas Raiders after they get pounded by San Diego? And yes, I know it's the Los Angeles Chargers, but who will become the new coach of the Raiders after the Chargers pound them into the dirt? And the Chargers will pound them into the dirt. I don't care if it's at Allegiant Stadium. I don't care if it's at the Death Star. Who's going to coach the Raiders? More to the point, who wants to coach the Las Vegas Raiders? Cole Johnson now joins me. Good morning, sir.
Good morning, sir.
Now,
how are things?
I just meant our discussion du jour this morning is about who should be fired on January 10th.
Oh, just anybody. Okay.
Which NFL coaches should be fired?
Oh, all right.
I threw a couple of wild card names that are in the case of should be fired but probably won't be fired. First one's Mike Tomlin.
Yeah, he won't be fired.
I know.
The if they get in the playoffs or not, he won't be fired.
I know.
Just considering the culture.
Yep.
I mean, you're talking about a team that has only had 3 head coaches in 52 years.
Mm-hmm.
No. Yeah, they're not firing him.
Yeah. Chuck Noll, Bill Cowher, and now Mike Tomlin. And I know they're not going to fire Mike Tomlin.
Mm-hmm.
I threw the reason of recency bias. You know what happened last year? They started 11-0, and then they get pounded for the next 6 games.
Yeah, they looked absolutely atrocious.
Mm-hmm. And in some ways, they still look atrocious. They're not going to make the playoffs this Sunday. And I'm saying that with all the love. I'm saying that with all the love from Mike Tomlin in my heart.
Now, you would disappoint my manager because she still is holding out hope that, of course, her beloved Steelers will beat the Ravens in Baltimore, but she has this feeling that the Jaguars will actually hold serve at home against the Colts.
For those of you watching the video feed, you see the hat that's in front of me? This was a Christmas gift. And it's a hat of my and my wife's beloved Indianapolis Colts. And I hate to disappoint your manager, and you can take this direct quote to her.
Okay.
Quote, the Jaguars are going to get pounded on Sunday.
I actually, I said something to the effect. What did I say to her? before she gave me the 2020/21 Steelers fight song in
Oh
response.
God.
Look, I love her. She's a sweetheart to have, but I have a ball teasing her about
I
her
bet.
intense love of the Steelers.
I bet. I know there's a couple Steeler fans at work, and I give them mess too. So
Oh man,
I get it.
I do not hold back. And she's a great sport too because
Mhm.
she takes it and she understands
Yep.
The energy in which it's intended. She knows I'm not
Yep.
trying to make her feel bad.
Right. For the
yeah.
real fans that get it and get all the teasing, love them because they
Yeah.
give it right back to us. You know.
Yeah. Yeah. In fact, like when the Steelers win. So all right, let me give you a little inside baseball. So every morning 7:30, my region has a trending call meeting. So there's 3 different sub-regions. In the sub-region that I represent, I deliver trending updates for what our region is to the meeting.
Mm-hmm.
So I started. I think it was actually the wild card game last year, where I just laid into the Steelers.
You let them have it.
Yes, I let them have it. And of course she is a Steelers fan, basically feigned being upset, like I can't stand you. That I knew 1, I had to do it again, and 2, I knew she enjoyed it. So I tested the waters again at the Hall of Fame game, where Mason Rudolph had an issue holding on to the ball from a snap because he was looking at Micah Parsons, so the Cowboys coming down, and so I said something to the effect of, and understand she's from Pennsylvania, so
yes,
so Micah Parsons was from Penn State. So I said. So I did the trending for that day, and I said at the end, and shout out to Micah Parsons for actually exposing Mason Rudolph for having 4 thumbs on each hand. My director, her boss, cracked up. She loved it. And when I got finished, I threw it back to my manager. She said, "Okay, and Cole will no longer be on the team." And I couldn't hold it. I burst into such loud laughter. And then after the meeting was over, I said, But I was lifting up a Pennsylvanian and Micah Parsons. She said, yeah, but not at the expense of my Steelers, man. And so fast forward to this week. This is great. So fast forward to about Tuesday, I said, so you literally are expecting a miracle in Jacksonville. You really think the Jaguars are going to beat the Colts? This is a miracle. You understand that? And she said, Stairway to 7, baby. The Steelers going to win the Super Bowl. I'm like, oh, Lord. And then she hits me with this fight song.
Oh, no.
And so she had to leave. She had to do a family function today. Mm-hmm. So yesterday I said to my crew, I said, so for Monday we have to really be extra nice to my manager because she's going to be recovering all weekend from the Steelers not making the playoffs. So believe me, your message has been delivered already by me tenfold.
All the Colts have to do, and since this is Friday, it's a football Friday and a potluck Friday, we're just going to dive into all the important games. Those are all the picks we're going to make. Mike Debate will join me later. And I'm going to introduce something called Snowman in the Morning Extra. This morning I had a chance to chat with the great Mick Mixon, the voice of the Carolina Panthers, who's calling his last game on Sunday. So y'all will see that on the website and on the Transform You Radio website. All the Colts have to do is give Jonathan Taylor the ball 30 times. Not even 30.
No. I'll say 25.
25. All they need is 25. All he needs is 25 carries. That's it.
All they need to do is give him 25 carries because I'm sure about 2 or 3 of them
will be long ones.
He's going to get you at least 20 or more.
He's gonna hit it.
Yeah.
He's gonna hit. You really expect that? You really expect that defense, Urban Meyer decay or not? You really expect that defense to stop a potential MVP candidate in Jonathan Taylor, who has the potential for 2,000 yards this year? I will borrow from you, my friend. And yes, Cole Sports on the Daily is back, and I absolutely adore it. If you expect the Jaguars to stop this Colts running game, then like the Buffalo Bills and the New England Patriots, you are tone deaf. I knew you'd love that.
Oh, that was a great setup.
I knew you'd love that. Just like Major League Baseball, you are tone deaf. All right, let's be real.
Mm-hmm.
The other game we're going to dive into will be in Los Angeles. 49ers and Rams. And the Rams are expecting a miracle.
Well, okay.
The Rams are favored, and they just think they're going to roll their helmets out on the field.
I was going to say, let's break this down.
Please, let's do it after the break. Let's start breaking down games. We're going to start it after the break. It's the fabulous Football Friday edition of Snowman in the Morning, and it continues in a flash.